Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid. Rules could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes, help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. A lot of times when we're dealing with a person that has a lot of spiritual blockages, they get in their own way. They have self-sabotaging behaviors. They do things to trigger us. And that keeps us stuck in a place of ruminating. And in order to stop ruminating, we have to see things from a different perception. And sometimes time does that. And other times time doesn't do that, right? Depending on the trauma and depending on how often that trauma has occurred. Now, there's many different realities that play out at one time. You're the alchemist of your life. So understanding how you contribute to the imbalances that play out within your experiences and understanding what to do with that negative energy can really help you transcend the limitations of your experiences to help you actually quantum jump into a whole other reality. And so we don't realize that though, because we get caught in the drama and the trauma of the drama. All right. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, it's in the description box. $7.99 will get you inner child healing, shadow healing, and reparenting, and all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma in a group setting done with my oracle cards. Yep, my healing the effects of psychic trauma cards. There are 68 cards in the deck, and they're titled under transpersonal psychology. Comes with a workbook that has over 80 different shadow healing exercises, teaches you how to deepen your meditation and reflection practices, teaches you how to do psychic readings. And so, it's a multifaceted type of healing modality, one to help you stay consistent within your shadow healing and, practice within opening up your psychic abilities and help you to dive deep within your meditation. Just, it's a great tool. All right, let's see. And if you're looking to purchase, my merchandise link is actually in the description box, along with the link to the coach group Shadow Healing Coaching Program. All right, the word of the video is prudence. There's just one of those words that when you hear it, that song from the Beatles comes into my head. I won't sing it because I can't hold a tune in a bucket. But what does prudence mean? Prudence means diplomatic, conservatively. Like, how do you deal with this energy? I feel like it's how have you been dealing with this person prudently so they can't read one way or the other, because you're not giving them enough, is what I'm feeling. So the underlying energy is it's that, but it's almost like this person, like, they know that they were a disappointment to you. It's like they were a disappointment to you, but it's almost like you're not going to give this person the satisfaction. They would love for you to give them the satisfaction because it would open up communication. And I feel like you won't do it. You're going to act as if, the tables have turned. Now you don't care. Now you're permissive. And that's really making this person look at themselves. Really look at themselves because this person, I believe, wore a mask. And you're showing them like that you're not going to tolerate it. You're not the person that they thought. I want to see again, we're just going to pull from a random deck to just see kind of like where they're at now. I'm afraid of losing you. Well, again, when that's a good sign, whenever a person does self-obsession and they're afraid of losing you, they're actually looking at how they treated you. And the whole point is for Christ consciousness, which is we're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. We're supposed to be learning that we're not separate from the energy of unconditional love, which is the energy of God, the energy of the universe. However, when we feel separate, well, then our core beliefs create habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with that. And with this person was like, I feel like a disappointment. We're not seeing what they did, but obviously they didn't give you the time, the energy, and the respect. That's why this person would like you're not saying anything. They would just love for you to just say something. It's like, but instead you're not saying anything, and that's pushing this person to like heal, whether they want to or not. Because Christ consciousness means unconditional love, and being that this person, if they didn't have feelings for you, they wouldn't care. Will you forgive me a second chance? So this is where they are right now. Now, are they asking you for it? What are they doing right now? We'll see like what they're doing right now, because that's the thing. Just because that's what they want right now doesn't mean that that's where they're ready to be. And then we'll actually see what this person did. Not that it's really important, but I mean, well, right now it's almost like this person is kind of like they're not being 100% honest. They're being sneaky. They're trying, they want, this is what they want. They want a second chance. It is pushing them into that, but their energy is still trying to manipulate, still trying to figure out like how to come back without being 100% transparent. Um, they're really afraid that there's no chance. So there's part of them that's talking themselves out of coming back. So what we see here is like when a person holds on to like two of the opposite beliefs. This person wants to be with you. However, they believe that there's no chance to even be with you to come back from how they treated you. But they're uncomfortable because they're obsessing about how they treated you. So again, this energy is still pushing this person into a place of Christ consciousness, but there's a part of this person that would rather just want to do things like sneaky, come back and not really be 100% transparent. And again, where it's like they feel like it's almost like too risky, or you're going to feel, first of all, that it's too risky for them to even like for you to even let them into their life. For you to let them into, yeah, your life is what I'm trying to say. And that, this person knows that that's what you think. Then just again, it would be too risky, but they still have a lot of feelings for you. Like it's still like almost like too intense for them. And it's almost like this person, because they don't know how to deal with it, they create a lot of drama. It's very exhausting. And over time, what happens is it's like because they're so afraid of intimacy, they make such a big deal over every little thing. Where, like I said, this person tends to not think things through before they make a move many times. So they have very risky behavior, which means they move mainly from like how they feel, which, you felt like again there was like no change for a very long time, no change for a very long time. So like there was the sense where this person like wants to come back, wants a second chance, wants these things, but like I said, being that they're holding on to like the exact opposite energy, like I don't feel like they're doing anything because, you know, there's a lot of internal stuff going on, and they're also like they're in their ego, where their ego is like, telling them already like why even bother to come back. There was no change for a long time, and there was also no, so there's no chance for them. You think that it's going to be too risky because it's what you remember, of how they were. But understand it's almost like this person is like now they almost feel like, well, maybe there was a meaning to all of this. Maybe this is destiny. Like where you're like, okay, like it's because it's over. And what it is that this person really does truly have a desire to be free, to not be with anyone because they're very impulsive and they don't like to create that monogamous relationship. So the thing is that it's like now that you don't want to be with them, now that you are like, I don't really want this person's finally looking at themselves and they all like look at the damage that I did to this relationship, but now I want it. And so of course the more that this person is in separation from you and they're thinking about it, the more intense this connection becomes. And then it's almost like they don't know how to handle it. So it plays out as drama and it's just exhausting, and so the thing is they're not comfortable in the connection. It doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. They have feelings, but they have trauma too, clearly. And again, that trauma is the fact that their heart was closed for a very long time. There is an empathetic ESP connection to the heart and mind that you and this person do have that's melting this person's heart. But it doesn't mean that it's melting, and it would have to be too intense for this person because they're detached, they're disassociated, they haven't felt these feelings for a long time. It's like that's why they feel like, oh, well, now it's destined. But it's again, you triggered their abandonment. Again, I'm telling you, this person thinks that this is a divine union. That's what they think. And it's because once you walked away, it's almost like, oh, that's who you are. And that's the thing, is like this person tends to fall head over heels too fast, and they tend to only have very shallow connections. So that's the thing. You're like, I don't trust that it would be a twin flame connection because of this energy and because their heart has been closed for so long. But this person is changed. It's like, but it there's doesn't mean that you have forgiven or that you forget what they are or that's the issue. That's why the underlining energy in the beginning is like prudent. How do you deal with this? Well, again, like conservatively, like non-emotionally, um, empathetic me, I mean, that's really what it is because this person like really thinks this now. And maybe at one time you thought it too, but you don't think that now. And that's the thing. You're like, I don't, what I know of them is that they're full of drama and they act like they want a relationship. And it just to come into my life to like confuse me, create like an intense situation, and then push me into some sort of crisis mode. So it's almost like this person has toyed with you one too many times, is what I'm feeling. And it's like, so now you're like, I don't like believe in all your intentions. I don't like, I believe that you have hidden intentions. And, again, those things that you hide from me, it's not really 100% true. That's what you feel about this person. And you're like, yeah, they just like want, like, have a sexual chemistry or like that they are very attracted to me is what you feel. You're like, but as far as anything else, that's all that it is. So it wouldn't last. It's like they're gonna come in and they're gonna say all that to get me to like be with them, and then they're gonna do whatever they want to do and turn back into who they really are. So this is what you feel about them because that's what they showed you. So what they're saying is that now that the time apart, now they see things differently. So, it's almost like now this person just, we're gonna see. Um, there's a part of this person that is like, I can't change who I am to be who you need. So they know. And also I feel like that is really for you, that you're like, I will not change to be what you want me to be, because what you want me to do is to change all the time. And this person, you know that they cannot change to be with you because it's like how they conduct their life. It's habit. So that's everybody. But it's coming from you especially, which is like, I'm not going to change. So again, you mean more to me than I could ever tell you. So again, that might be you feel the same way too. Like I do care about you, but I would never be able to tell you, and I think that this person feels the same way, even though they're not saying it. And that someday they'll realize that you are the one who got away. So it's like they're in their pride, they're in their ego. There's a part of this person that knows already that you're not going to take them back, that you're not. But because of this energy, they know that they took it too far. However, are they going to try to come back? Yes, they're going to try to come back, because again, there we started off with, how do I deal with this energy? And there's a part of you that doesn't care anymore. And once you did not care anymore, that's what made this person become self-obsessed and say, oh, what did I do? How did I treat? Oh, now you're the one that got away, but you're the one that got away because you're the one that detached, because you chose you. You chose you, not this person, where when this person was dealing with you, they thought you were going to choose them. Once you choose you, well, guess what? You became a lot more attractive to them, and so if you look again, it was too many secrets, that you didn't trust this person and you felt alone most of the time. So emotionally, they weren't giving you anything, and they just left the relationship in ruins, where you're like, well, there was nothing left of it. And that's what they know too, that there's nothing left of it. So even if they would try to come back, which I do believe that they might try and come back, but how they come back is not really trying that hard. And the reason why is because they already know it's not going to work, because again of that, how they left it. It's like once they destroyed the relationship, they realized who you are. So we have to say, well, why are they coming back then? What's the whole point? What's the whole point? Because they know that they left the relationship in ruins. So what would be the whole point? Um, because they're maybe enough time passed by. Maybe it's just my anxiety. Maybe like I can like fix it somehow, but they already are very fearful that it's not going to work out. Um, like I almost feel like it's like their karma, they know it. And that's why I'm saying it's the karma, is that they know it. It's almost like, but why would they come back? And it's because you are a part of their soul tribe. Again, that you are a part of their soul tribe. And I feel like there might have been a third party in this, but you're part of their soul tribe. Again, the friendship, they miss that. So maybe this person chose the wrong person. And so, like I said, it's almost like they were waiting for a time that just never happened, and I feel like it's because they're connected to like a community that like kind of took them off the direction. They wound up going into like a different direction, and without realizing it. And that created a lot of blockages. It created a lot of like obstacles, because once they went that opposite direction, well, it took them away. It's like what happened is, it's like they realized that it was very short-lived. Whatever the enterprise was, whatever the if it was a passionate connection, it fell apart. If it was a career move, it was very, it was very short-lived. It didn't pan out. And so what happened is this person went the opposite way. And they realize that now, and they know that it's time at this point that they would have to say something to you. So there's a part of this person that wants to believe in the impossible, and believe like you can, that hey, maybe you won't, and that's why they're coming back. That maybe it'll create enthusiasm, heated, like it'll create something, either passion or even like if you were to fight with them, it would be better than nothing. So it's almost like they feel like they have to do something they don't know what to do. So it's almost like they went with another person, that situation didn't work out, or a job opportunity somewhere that they couldn't bring you, which makes me assume a person, but a career could have been connected to that person, which they chose that route last minute, switched it up on you, which is why they know that they can't come back. They already are like, but they still have feelings for you. That was very short lived, it didn't work out. So that's why this person feels the way that they do now. So, I mean, listen, that puts you guys in a very uncomfortable position, okay? Because it's almost like, well, now that you made the wrong decision, you're coming back to me. But I still, even if I still have a connection, I still, again, you would not know what you wanted when they come back. Understand that. You're not going to know, is what Spirit says. So you'll know at that time during divine time. Um, but for some, it's a twin flame connection. And this person needed to go through this experience in order to realize that. And so you may be like, I don't give a shit what you needed to go through. It's like you weren't here for me, but that person knows that. But they were like, I still have to come back. Um, and they're going to have to try and win you over. You're not going to be ready, like I said, when they come back. And you're also going to not want to like really be in a relationship. You're going to be like fearful that it would go back to a one-sided relationship, and you're kind of going to make it like a one-sided relationship if they're in a relationship with you where you don't really give them that much, because it's almost like you have to prove to me, when meanwhile you're going to want me to be patient with you where you were not patient with me. And so you need to be patient now with me if you want to be with me. And I'm going to take my damn sweet time, and you're not going to make it easy for this person because of how they treated you. And it's either they can deal with it and humble themselves, or they can not be in your life, because that's where they push this connection. But because you're like, well, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And because of that, it's going to create a lot of fights and arguments and conflicts, because there's a part of you that it's like if they try and come force you into the relationship, you don't trust them. They create a lot of problems. That I don't know what they were thinking again, but even in coming back, but it's almost like this person can't help it. They want to believe in the impossible. They know, but it's almost like you ruin the relationship. Now it's a collective reading. Some of you will will make excuses for this person, but understand a person teaches you how they're going to treat you through the beginning. And if they weren't there, they don't know how to treat you because you weren't able to teach them. So there'll be an essence that they think that they know who you are. There's an essence of like, they don't even know the half of it. They're not even aware of your feelings, not even thinking about your feelings. They're thinking about it now because, hey, now they're looking at themselves and how they do it, but the whole time that they weren't. So they haven't even processed what they've done to you yet. Never mind how you felt about that. And so there's a lot that this person's gonna have to fix, and they're not even, they just leave, oh, in divine time, and you're like, I don't think so. Yeah. Like, I'm not so quite sure. You're gonna have to prove it. And you're gonna have to prove it and work for it, and don't ask me for anything. If you want me back because you made me feel unworthy, these are the inner child wound cards. Also, but if they're also, they'll trigger what that trauma was. Like, again, like this person made it like they were no support whatsoever. Just no support. Pretended that they didn't really understand what, like, the connection, but they always knew what the connection was. And I feel like as a kid, you didn't have support. There wasn't an anchor. It made you feel unworthy. Again, maybe made you feel as if you were needy, made you feel as if you wanted certain things, and that's which was not true, and that made you also um, feel not safe or secure. And then Spirit says, and that trauma pushed you into your third eye again, and then we're seeing it again. Support, same thing, like it continued to play out. And so Spirit saying it's like that created a lot of negative energy because, hey, like if I have no support, then it makes me feel as if I'm not important. And if I'm not important, then I'm not loved. And if I'm not loved, I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. Children need to feel safe and secure. Mistakes. Yeah. So, Spirit saying, of course, then life is hard. So it doesn't feel good then to be in our body. And so we go more into our imagination, into the mind. The child that survives thrives through the imagination. However, it meant that you were not like as present as you should have been. So because um so like when that happens, we don't feel supported at all. We feel not even connected to other people. And so then life is difficult. And life is difficult because, again, we're being taught that we're not safe. We don't have the security. We're not loved. And so when life is hard all the time, it creates a lot of anger and rage. Also, if you grew up with a parent that was rageful and just angry all the time, then you could be like, I couldn't even talk to that person because they would flip out. So I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel secure. Didn't feel supported. I would ask for something, and of course, it was misunderstood. Maybe that I was being greedy, or I was asking for too much, or was asking, or that just being selfish with my own needs, when really I was just trying to create the security for myself, but because again it was dealt with so negatively, I felt unworthy. Like that energy template is the emotional energy that the body holds on to. And so all here, what you see is the person wasn't here. They chose to be with somebody else. There was a third party involved. Now they want to come back. They're upset. They're like, oh, I made the wrong choice, but they already made you feel unworthy. They already weren't any part of support for you. Now you're by yourself. Like you're like, I don't really want this. It's and that's the thing. If you're gonna if I'm gonna let you in, you're gonna like really prove it to me. Because I don't know what I want. And Spirit says this is all about you using your voice to ask for what you need. And some days I might be like, I'm not interested. And sometimes it would be like, if this person's gonna like prove it, you have to direct them because they have no clue. They have no clue. And so Spirit says, like, take time out to retreat and rejuvenate. This isn't about being codependent and letting the person in all the time if you want to be with this person, but it's about creating that safe place within inside of yourself that no one can take your security and safety away from you. Only you can by giving your energy to other places. So it's not an all or nothing type of thing. Sometimes, the twin flame connection teaches us balance when there has been no balance in the relationships, when relationships go 100 miles an hour and then turn into nothing. And it's because it's all shady, where this started off shady and is actually turning into something. You understand? But it's going to require forgiveness, it's going to require, like, for you to see beyond your immediate fears, to get more insight, to elevate your perception of what you believe a twin flame connection actually is, first of all. And, like, to see yourself differently. Like what is twin flame connection? The twin flame connection definitely teaches us to take a leap of faith in order for us to really ascend life, to let go of who we were and to become who we are. Those old wounds of, well, like, this person betrayed me because they weren't there for me. Spirit saying is, you didn't need their support. You created your own support. You never needed anyone. But there's a part of you that's like, oh, well, because you weren't here and I expected you to be here and I needed you to be here. You weren't, like I don't want to really be with you. I'm on to a new trajectory where Spirit's saying, but if it was if it's a real twin flame connection, and for some of you it is, well, you're gonna like rise above and you're gonna again ascend, like your perception of the connection, and realize that this person had to go through that experience in order to like know the truth, to see the truth, but they know what it did to you. And they also know that they're not really deserving of this connection. But Spirit says sometimes it's about unconditional love, sometimes it's about forgiveness and letting go. And due to the fact that you grew up like without the security and the safety, and wanting that person to create it, where Spirit's like, they were never supposed to create it for you. It now they shouldn't have handled their situation the way that they handled it. However, the root cause of why you're angry is that you wanted them to create support, where really you needed to just do that for yourself to transcend that spiritual blockage. And so that's part of your thing of why you're like, well, that's what makes me feel like you're not my twin flame for some of you. But I think that that might be your ego, because it's again like you were supposed to be here. But so like I said, it's a collective reading. So some of you guys will and some of you guys won't. But even as I say, for some of you guys will, then I automatically get an argument of why that's not going to happen, and then go back and forth, which is very twin flamey energy, which is I want it but I don't. And that the runner becomes the chaser becomes the runner. So we leave off with one. Well, actually, two, Spirit says, which is inner strength. Nothing moves you from your path to light because you have complete confidence in yourself, that you realize your innate qualities and your abilities, and know that with God you can do anything. All the power that you need is within you. That's why this person couldn't come back. At that time, that's why it wasn't divine time. And now Spirit says, the voice of the heart. Silence the fear in you and discover the voice of your heart. The fruit of these words guides you. Trust the song of your soul. Your intuition leads you on the path to light. So the Spirit's kind of saying, like, if this person you really do like have feelings for them, listen to your heart. Like, because they've changed. They had to go through this experience. I'm gonna leave that there. You let me know how you resonated, Gemini, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.